Few weeks ago, I was scrolling through Twitter. You know how we do it, right? You're just scrolling, passing time, see if you get any stories that are interesting to you or any tweets that will make you laugh, those kind of things. And then I stumbled on this tweet that someone had put about a few hours before I saw it. And he was saying that he came to Canada as an international student, and in less than 2 years of living in Canada, he became a Canadian permanent resident, or he became a permanent resident of Canada. And so many people in the comment section did not really believe him. I had so many people who were like surprised, and I even read a comment where someone was like, tell people the truth, that's not the truth, say exactly what you did. And when I read the comments, I was like, this is something which is possible. Why are these people acting like this man is just trying to frame up something which doesn't exist? This is something that you can actually go on the internet, Google, and it will give you the entire process on how to carry it out. But why are these people acting this way? And then I realized that the reason why they were acting that way, it's not because they probably thought the information was inaccurate, but it was because they didn't know how to carry it out. So in a way, to say that they did not know, they came from an angle like he's not speaking the truth. So yeah. And yeah, after I thought about that, I was like, oh, this is a good video to actually make to educate people more about this pathway. What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to my channel. My name is Nelly. If this is your first time here, you're absolutely welcome. On this channel, I make videos about studying in Japan, studying in Canada, immigrate to Canada, and sometimes I make vlogs about life in Canada. Previously, I used to make vlogs about life in Japan, but now that I moved to Canada, I'm making videos about life in Canada. So if you're interested in this kind of content, then I recommend that you hit the subscribe button and you hit the bell button so that you don't miss out on any of my videos. And if you're watching this video currently and you've already subscribed, then I'll also plead with you to go a step further and give this video a thumbs up. So when I see a thumbs up on the videos, it helps me to know that you watched the video and then you liked the video. But if I don't see a thumbs up, I don't know if you liked the video. It leaves me kind of confused. So I don't know if to make that kind of content again or if to do something else, because it's a bit difficult to tell if people enjoyed it or not if I don't see you giving a thumbs up. So please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know that you liked the video and that you want to see more videos of this sort. The immigration route which the author of this tweet that made me to come up with this video was talking about was the Canadian experience class. I'm sure you're wondering, like, Nelly, what's the Canadian experience class? What's that all about? Don't worry. Let's go to the IRCC website and then get to know about the Canadian experience class. And then after that, I will let you know how you can qualify or how you can proceed to come to Canada and live here for less than 2 years, and then you get your permanent residence. So let's go. When you type IRCC, you see so many options, but let's just take the first one: Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship Canada. That's what IRCC stands for. When you click the option and then you scroll to the bottom, you see my application. Obviously, if you don't have an application, you don't have to click this. You see Immigrate, you see Work, you see Citizenship, you see Canadians, you see Visit, Get Answers, Study. Let's just go to Immigrate. To be able to immigrate, there are different ways that you can use, but our focus for today is on express entry. Immigrate as a skilled worker. Let's go to how express entry works. It says express entry is an online system that we use to manage immigration applications from skilled workers. So it means that you have to be a worker before you can use express entry as your immigration route to Canada. There are 3 immigration programs managed through express entry. You have the Canadian experience class. This is for skilled workers who have Canadian work experience. Your work experience must have been gained in the 3 years before you apply. So for this class, you have to have had Canadian experience, Canadian work experience. You have the Federal Skilled Worker Program. This is for skilled workers with foreign work experience. Must meet criteria for education and other factors. And then the third one is the Federal Skilled Trades Program. This is for skilled workers who are qualified in a skilled trade. Must have a job offer or a certificate of qualification. For today, I'm going to be focusing on the Canadian experience class because that's what the person who made the tweet used to be able to become a permanent resident in less than 2 years of living in Canada. With regards to the Federal Skilled Worker Program, I made a few videos sometime last year talking about how you can immigrate through this program. So I'm going to put the links to the videos in the description box so that you can go there, watch it, and just see. Maybe this will be a good immigration route for you and your family. You never can tell. And with regards to Federal Skilled Trades Program, I've not made a video yet, but if you see that it's something that you're interested in and you want me to talk a bit more about it, then please leave it in the description box, and I'm going to, leave it in the comment section. Leave a comment for me in the comment section, and I'm going to make a video talking about this program. Since this is our area of focus, let's go to learn more. The Canadian Experience class is for skilled workers who have Canadian work experience and want to become permanent residents. You have minimum requirements. Let's start with that. It says you must meet the required language levels needed for your job for each language ability. Let's just see what's that all about. So you have language tests that you have to take. For English, there's CELPIP, there's IELTS. For French, there's TEF, there's TCF, and then that's about it. Okay, let's go back. I think we have an idea. The next requirement is you have to have had at least 1 year of skilled experience in Canada in the last 3 years before you apply. You can meet this in a few different ways. As a full-time worker, so if you worked at one job full-time and you did at least 30 hours per week for 12 months, that will be a total of 1,560 hours. And as a result, you qualify. Even if you did not do full-time work, if you did part-time work, let's say you did 15 hours per week for 24 months, this will be a total of 1,560 hours, and you also qualify. And you can work as many part-time jobs as you need to meet this requirement. Okay. So the third one is as a full-time worker, but then you worked at 2 different places. So you did 30 hours per week for more than 12 months at more than one job. Let's say, for example, at one job, maybe you did 8 months. At another job, you did 4 months. That still makes you qualified to be able to apply to this immigration or to this express entry route. The third one is have gained your work experience by working in Canada while under temporary resident status with authorization to work. What this means is that even if you don't have a work permit, as long as you were a temporary resident of Canada and you had an authorization to work, you qualify to apply under the Canadian Experience class. So a few points to note. Your skilled work experience must be paid work, including paid wages or earned commission. We don't count volunteer work or unpaid internships. For part-time work, you can work more or less than 15 hours as long as it adds up to 1,560 hours. You can work more than one part-time job to get the hours you need to apply. But note, we don't count any hours you work above 30 hours per week. You're not eligible for the Canadian Experience class if you're a refugee claimant in Canada, or if you're working without authorization, or your work experience was gained without temporary resident status in Canada. With regards to education, there's no education requirements for the Canadian Experience class. With regards to language, like we saw before, there are language requirements. You don't need to show that you have enough money to support yourself and your family if you're applying under the Canadian Experience class. There are 4 ways by which you can be able to come here and qualify for this Canadian Experience class. The very first way was discussed in my previous video. If you watched that video, you already know how to go about the process. If you didn't watch it, I'm going to leave it in the description box so that you can actually watch it and get to know more about how you can come here and qualify for the experience class. The second pathway is to come as an international student, which this person did. I made a video about things to note before coming to Canada to study. I made this video at least 5 or 6 months ago. I'm not quite sure the timeline now, but I'm going to leave this video in the description box as well. Oh, I'm going to leave a lot of things today. Yeah, I'm going to leave this video in the description box. In that video, I explained the things that you should note when choosing a school in Canada or when deciding to come and study in Canada. And one of the things I spoke about was how to qualify for a work permit when you graduate, for a postgraduate work permit in Canada. So if you go to a designated learning institution in Canada, you'll be able to qualify for a work permit, for a postgraduate work permit at the end of your program. I recommend that you watch that video because I'm just throwing words here and there. I'm sure you're like, what's a postgraduate work permit? What's a designated learning institution? If you want to know all about that, then you should also watch that video about things to note before choosing a school. So when you graduate from a program as an international student, you're eligible to get a work permit. And with this work permit, you can be able to you can be able to get your 1 year, which you would use for the Canadian Experience class. The third way that can qualify you for the Canadian Experience class is still to come here as an international student, but this time, even before you graduate, you already apply for your Canadian Experience class. So if you quite remember what we read, we see that it makes provision for full-time work as well as part-time work. So if you come to study in Canada, and let's say, for example, maybe your program is for 2.5 years, and then during those years, you're actually doing part-time work, you will see that even before your program comes to an end, you would have been able to accumulate the number of hours that are required for the Canadian Experience class. The fourth method that you can use to come to Canada and work in Canada is by applying for a job in Canada. So right here, this is the Government of Canada website. It's called Job Bank. So on this website, you can find several jobs. It says that search 129,000 job postings in Canada. I know a few people who have been able to secure job positions in Canada outside of Canada. I'm talking about people in Cameroon who applied for jobs and the jobs allowed them to come to Canada to come and work in Canada. So guys, it's very much possible. And some of the jobs are even open to people who are going to be applying from outside. They are not only limited to people in Canada, they are also open to those who are applying from outside. So guys, I hope that I've been able to enrich your mind with this video. If I did that, please leave this video a thumbs up so that I know that you enjoyed this content and so that I know the kind of content I should bring to you in the future. Thank you so much for staying tuned with me, and you can always catch up with me on Instagram, Nelly's_life. On Facebook, it's Nelly's Life. And I'm also here. I try to read comments and respond to them as well. So guys, this is all from me. Thank you so much for staying tuned with me. I look forward to seeing you in Canada in the next couple of months. See you in my next video. Goodbye.